Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I'm going to be posting random videos here and there with my son, doing mukbangs and stuff like that, but I wanted to dedicate this video to update you guys with something that is hard for me. And I'm not going to cry because I already cried enough because of it, because I had to make one of the hardest decisions for me and my family. But I believe in my heart that I did the right thing, and God will provide. And sorry for my kids mess up there, but anyways guys, let me get started. But before I get started, let me just show you a little mini haul from Target. So I decided to pick up another body scrub because I finished the one I had. So this time I picked up the Coco Colada whatever, Shea Sugar Scrub, and this one smells really good. Oh my gosh, and of course I spilled so much. It smells really yummy. It was hard for me to choose which one I was gonna get because it was between this and two other ones. The other one, I think it was I believe it was coconut, no, I forgot, but it was two other ones, but I decided to go with this one. I asked my husband to help me choose the one he liked the most, and it was this one, and I'm glad he chose this one because it does smell really delicious, especially now that summer's coming. This is perfect for summer. And I love these because the scent will stay in your body, like you will keep smelling it. So that's why I love these and I recommend. So I'm excited for this new scent. And then the other two things he got me was this L'Oreal Paris waterproof carbon black mascara. This has been out for years and years, but I couldn't find mine, so he bought me this one, and waterproof. And then I got this mini deodorant from Native, deodorant cucumber and mint. And the reason I got the little one because I wanted to try it first before buying the big one, because since these are more like safe for the skin, and it smells really good. I'm trying to see if it really stays smelling good all day. But anyways guys, let me close the door so I can kind of talk to you guys about what this video is about. So let me just close the door. Oh, sorry for dropping this, and my husband's mess all over the place on his cards. But let me just say, I'm back. So I had to make the decision to quit my job, and I'm very sad and angry at the same time because I loved my job. I know if you have been following me for a little bit, you know that on the beginning it was very hard because I was with the 2- and 3-year-olds, and they had no structure, and they went through so many different teachers, and there was really no what is it called, like, because it's a Montessori school, because I've only worked at Montessori preschools and daycares. So this class had no Montessori work at all. Like, there was no work. So whoever the teacher was before I came in took all the supplies with her, and then whatever was left, the kids destroyed. And I know that there's kids, that it's hard for them to listen, and there's different things, but this classroom was like out of control. Like, out of the 21 kids, maybe only 3 were good listeners, would sit in circle time. But then even those 3 children, since they knew that all the focus was going to the kids that were running around, hitting each other, getting on top of tables, jumping everywhere, were getting the attention, they started acting up, so it was hard for me as a new teacher to get them to listen, because the first thing is that I did not get training for that classroom. They never introduced me to the children. They never told me the children's names. I had to learn them on my own. And I had to be with this other lady for one day because that was not her classroom, and they were not listening to her either. So then the second day was another teacher, and they weren't listening to her. And finally, the third day, they brought this other teacher, which did not do anything. She made me do everything. And me as a new teacher, I thought that that's what I was supposed to do, that was my role. But then I realized that no, that she was just taking advantage because she didn't want to do anything. So I would be the one, chasing the kids around, having to have them sit down while she's just sitting there. And I'm the one running around, and I'm not even kidding you. The first 10 minutes that I was already there, I was sweating, trying to control the kids, like try to have them sit down when they weren't listening at all, because obviously they don't know me. It's a new face, and so they start acting out because they're like they don't take it seriously, because they have teacher after teacher after teacher, and they don't have no structure. So I lasted there for almost 3 months, and then I had told my boss that it was too much, and I even told her that the teacher that I work with was not doing anything, and instead of removing me, they removed her. So imagine I'm by myself, and then when you have 12 children, you're able to stay by yourself with them. So they would always leave me by myself with 12 kids. So imagine me changing diapers, and the other kids are running around getting on top of tables, and it's dangerous, and then they're hitting each other. And how can I control everything when I'm changing diapers, and it was constant. I was always by myself when I had 12 kids. And so then I just lost it, because it was just impossible for me to be able to change diapers and have them sit down. I was never able to get them to sit down. Oh, and then there was an incident where a child, he was like, I guess, the leader, the one that everybody followed. If he didn't behave, everybody would copy him, and he would hit me. Like, he would kick me, punch me, pull my hair, try to bite me, spit on my face. Like, he did everything. And there was a day where I told the teacher, no, you know what? You need to help me with him too. I can't just be the only one having to go chase them and try to sit them down. And, so finally she helped me one day. And that day he did the same thing to her that he's been doing to me for the past 3 months at the time. And she lost it. She started crying. She made herself feel like she was a victim. So she gave the boss an ultimatum, or I don't know how to say the word, but like, she said, either you kick the kid out of the school, which he was already gonna move, but they just proceeded, like, they made the process quicker, or she's gonna quit. So obviously they decided to choose her side, because they had nothing to lose, to be honest, because he was already gonna move. So they decided to have him leave. But it just made me mad that I had told them my experiences, and they had to see the cameras, and how much I was the one always running around, trying to read to them, try to be there for them. I was the one changing the diapers, making sure that every single child was there, because the teacher that I was with, she never had the right count of children, or she would not write everybody's name on the diaper changing thing. So there's times where, like, kids, it said that they weren't getting changed because she did not put their name. So I was always the one fixing everything, and when there was a new child, I was the one having to comfort them and talk to the parents. When at that moment she's the lead teacher, but it's like if I was the lead teacher, And another thing is, like, the pay was horrible. When I got hired, they said that after the 3 months I would get a raise, and I did get a raise, but it was still considered minimum wage, and for me to, I've had, I worked before at a different Montessori school. I had all my units. I had, what is it called? I had experience, and it's like it didn't count. Like, I had to start all over, and a lot of these girls, these teachers, are very young, like way younger than me. And I feel like they were getting paid more, and a lot of them, not to be mean, but I just feel like that was not their calling. Like, a lot of them were so impatient, and you can tell that that's not their passion. In me, I love children, but let me just tell you that when I decided to leave room 3, which was the room where I had the 2 and 3-year-olds, was an incident where, like, they were misbehaving, but then they were doing okay before I went on my 10-minute break. So when I came back from my 10-minute break, and before that, because someone has to release you, like, where they come so you can go on your 10-minute break. And it was one of the people that works in the office, like a admin. So she should know better, So I guess when I left, she let them do whatever they wanted. When I walked in, she's like, okay, bye. And the kids had broken a plate. They were chasing each other with heavy, what are they called? Blocks, but they're like super heavy. If you've been in a Montessori school, you know what I'm talking about, because they're very popular. So yeah, so it was a disaster. It's like she did not care. She did not do anything to stop it. So then I lost it. I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. This is crazy, It's like, this is not fair. So I don't know if they saw me in the camera, or the main lady, I guess my manager, the one that hired me, I don't know if she's just coming and saw it happening, but she's like, oh, do you need a breather? Do you need to go take a break? And I said, yeah. And I told her, I'm sorry, but I quit. I just can't do this anymore. And I had come to them a few times, and they never did anything about it. All they did is take the other teacher out and left me in there, and it didn't make sense to me at all. And so I told her that I can't do this anymore and I'm sorry. And then I guess the owner wanted to give me a raise, but I'm like, nothing is going to make me want to stay in this room. Like, there's no way I'm going to stay in this room because there's no respect. There's nothing. Like, that room is horrible. And everybody knew that class was so hard to handle. Like, no one can handle that classroom, And so then they offered me to be with the infants. And that's what I wanted to do from the beginning. I wanted to be with the babies. And so they decided to put me with the babies. So I became a teacher in the infant room, and that was the best experience and the best job I've ever had, being with the babies. And I loved it. And what they told me was that if once, because I had all my units, but I guess the only class I didn't take was an infant and toddler class. So this is where it all started. So my boss, she was kind of like lying to me. Like, she was like, oh, if you want to be in this room, but it was more to be a closer, to close the room, so to come in the to stay into the afternoon, because my schedule was from 8:15 in the morning to 5:15 in the afternoon, and we closed the building at 6. So they wanted me to be a closer, so that means that I would have to come from 9 in the morning to 6 p.m. And in the infant room, first it was just me and the lead teacher, and she comes in really early at 6:45 to get the room ready, and she leaves at 3:50 in the afternoon. So it was just me and her at first, because I think we had about 8 in total. I think it was 11 babies, but we never had 11 at once. Like, usually it was 8 babies, sometimes 4 babies, so sometimes she had to be by herself, because 4 babies for 1 teacher, 8 babies for 2 teachers. And if you have 12 babies or over 8, then you have 3 teachers. So at first it was only me and her. And in the afternoon, and then there was times where, like, she only had 4, 5 babies. And sometimes even, like, okay, let's say there was 4, but they knew there was another baby coming, they still would pull me out of the classroom. They made me do breaks and lunch breaks, or they would have me, like, replace someone who didn't come, and I had to be in their classroom. And then in the afternoon, I had to come back, be with the remaining babies, and then they would add children from room 2, which is the 1-year-olds. And if there was 4 of them, I had to stay by myself, but usually there was other teachers in there with me. But then it was hard for me, because it's like I wasn't there all day, and then they throw me back in there, and then, like, I had to, like, remember, like, what's the schedule, like, if the baby got fed, or if they already got their diaper changed, who needs to take a nap. So it was hard, because I was being pulled out all the time. And when my boss had told me that once I was registered for this class, that I would be in that room from 9 in the morning to 6 p.m., that would be my room, which was a lie. I was constantly taken out of the room. And then they hired another teacher in that room. So now it was 3 of us. So the lead teacher would come in at 6:45. And then the second teacher started coming in at 8:30. And then I would come in at 9. So if they had 8 babies, guess who had to be out of that room? Me. So they would leave this new teacher in there all day. She was never taken out of the classroom to do breaks or to be in someone else's classroom, because they were there. I was the one who was taken out. So then I realized, I caught on to everything, that the reason they wanted me to be the closer was because they only needed me to be a closer and not to be the lead, or like the second lead teacher, how they said I was going to be, So, and then hiring another teacher, it was more of a chance that I was not going to be there at all, because then they already have 2 teachers. So why would they need me if you have 8 babies, And then there was times that they did add to 10 babies, but then they would put someone else instead of me, because I was doing the breaks, when they could have taken someone out of their classrooms to do that, and then I can be in my room, And another thing is, like, she made it seem like the owner was going to pay for my class. She's like, oh, I was going to say her name. She's going to pay for your class, . And then they're like, oh, how much money do you want us to take out of your paychecks? So she was helping me out, but just paying it all off. And then I had to pay in payments, like take it out of my paychecks every month. So the total was going to be $400 just for me to be a closer, when they had said that it was for me to be in that room all day long, that would be the only classroom that I would be in. Oh, because let me tell you, when I was in room 3 with the 2 and 3-year-olds, they never took me out of that classroom. I was always there, and it was never taken out to do anything. But when I'm here, they make me a floater, not a, so I was a floater and a closer, and that was not what I signed up for. So then I kept expressing to them how I was feeling, and they were like, sorry, but here we work as a team, we're family, this and that. But it's like, that's not what you told me. You should have told me that from the beginning. But it was all with lies and lies and lies. And there was times, like almost a week, that I was not in my room, and then there was 3 days that I was in this other room the whole day. And then I had to come back, clean, throw the trash away, put the stuff in the washer, and make sure that everything was put together. Because once, this is the reason I quit. The main reason, it wasn't just because they were taking me out, but what made me make that decision was a new girl that was with us. She never did anything. When you work with infants, you have to make sure you are updating everything. We have like 4 pages that we had to fill out and put times, at what time they napped, what time they woke up, what time they got their diaper changed, if it was wet, or BM, which is like if they went number 2. You had to write like the times they had their bottle, and then you write it down on the board as well. And then you have to write what they ate, because some of them had solids and some just had a bottle. And she would not do that. And sometimes I would be like coming back from my break or lunch, and I would ask her, oh, what time did he go to bed? I don't know. And that's how she would say, I don't know. And it's like, okay. So I was getting upset, because then I had to fill in everything that she was lacking. So it was like I was double working while she's just there holding one baby, and there's 8 more babies crying, and she's just holding one baby that is not even crying, and that's what made me get so tired of it. And then like she was like very, like, she's really young, but it's like you can tell that's not for her, like she was getting patient when she would feed the babies. You'd be like, oh my gosh, you're so dirty, but it's like she's the one feeding them, she's the one, and they're babies, like, come on. And the lead teacher, like, she's the one that would do everything too, and it's like I felt bad for leaving her, but it's just like I just couldn't do it, knowing that I'm gonna pay $400 for a class that doesn't make sense, because I wouldn't be in that classroom anyways that much. And then this new girl comes, which is clearly not prepared for this kind of job, is being there all day long, and I have to do her job, because she's not doing anything. And then for me to be taken out, and then she was putting the wrong bottles in the wrong bags. Babies were taking the wrong bottles home, and then I would have to take the responsibility and the blame, because I was a closer, when it was her who was doing that when I wasn't there, and she never helped me with cleaning or anything. And then sometimes it was hard, because in the afternoon, when I have to have like some children from room 2, they're 1-year-olds, so imagine let's say I had a baby left and 3 1-year-olds. It's hard, because they're fighting, and then I'm here trying to feed a baby, try to put a baby to sleep. It's impossible. It was very hard. Like, I don't know why they didn't have a teacher to stay in the afternoon to close for the 1-year-olds, and then me just focus on the babies, but that's not how it was. And then this girl that was hired with us, the one I'm talking about, she had no units. They hired her with no units, because she came from a different state, and they didn't need units over there. And she was only with the 2 and 3-year-olds. So she was never with the infants. And we were lied to. Me and the lead teacher were told that we were getting a new teacher that had all her units. It was an actual infant teacher, which that was not true. She never worked with infants ever. And so it was very hard to let go, because I got attached to those babies. And I cried and I cried and I cried, because that's the best job I've ever had in my life. Like, it's true when they say find a job that you love, because for me, it was not a job. For me, it was like I would have done it for free. I would have done it just gone there on my breaks, on my lunch breaks, because I love those babies so much, and it breaks my heart because I got so attached, and I'm angry because like these people don't realize they're good workers, you know, like it's not fair that all these teachers that are not doing their job right, or they just don't love their job, are there being able to stay in that classroom and just be there and be lazy, you know. And I really got attached, and I really took my job seriously because that was my dream. I always wanted to work with babies. As a mother, I just love infants. I just love babies. And like every time I had a hard day at home or something going on in my personal life, every time I saw those babies, they removed all my anxiety, my fears, my anger, my sadness. Like they just brought joy to me, you know. And I don't know, it just broke my heart. And I don't know, sometimes I wish I could go back and just deal with that, and as long as I was with them for a little bit. But it's just like it was not fair, you know. And with the pay, it's not fair either. And I don't know, it was the worst and hardest decision of my life, to be honest, that I had to do, because usually jobs that I quit, I don't have that attachment. I don't care about it really. But this job I did love, that I was willing to stay there with the low pay, you know. But what did it for me was like them hiring this other teacher who clearly does not care about these babies. Like, I'm not saying like she's horrible or anything, but she's just, you can tell that it's not her passion. Is just like, she's so young and she has no patience, you know, and she's not loving, you know. And I don't know, but these babies are always going to be in my heart. They're always going to be so special to me, and I'm always going to pray for them to always be safe and have a beautiful life. But yeah, but I had to quit this job because it was not fair, and it's very toxic. Like, they claim that we're a family, they claim that they care for us, and like we look out for each other, but no, they only look out for themselves. And a lot of people there want to quit, and a lot of people are looking for a new job because it's not fair, you know. And I don't know, so yeah, so that's the reason I quit. And even though I was with the infants for just a short amount of time, I got attached. I loved it, and it's gonna be a job that I'm never gonna forget. And I'm just so thankful and grateful that I was able to be there, even though it was just for a short time. And I know people can say like, oh, you can go back to school for the infant and toddlers and apply at a different infant class or job. But I feel like I'm done working with children because it's really affected me. And I know the type of person that I am. I get attached, and maybe it's not healthy for me, because so far all the Montessori schools that I worked at haven't been the best experience. So I feel like I'm just burned out. So right now this summer, I'm just going to focus on helping my youngest child with school, because he might have to go to summer school. If not, I'm just going to try to help him at home so he can be ready for first grade. So right now it comes to my family. They come first. And at the moment, I'm just going to focus on being with my family this summer. And then after summer, God willing, I can find a job. And I know I'm never going to find a job that I love like I love this one in this classroom. But just keep me in your prayers, please, that I can find a good job and God can guide me in what kind of job to get, because it's scary. It's scary to start over, and scary to like have to go back to meeting people and not knowing if you're gonna click with your coworkers, because it's very important to work as a team, you know. And at this place, it was hard to work as a team in room 3. But with the babies, I felt like me and the lead teacher were a good team. But once this other girl got brought into it, it's like it messed everything up, you know. But hopefully she starts getting the job done correctly. But that's on them, you know. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's all I wanted to update you guys on. And just please just keep me and my family in your prayers. I know God will provide, and just pray that I know what kind of job I need to go for, and I want a job that it's perfect for me, you know. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a video. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.